The woman is the home. This can be an overwhelming reality and a huge responsibility. However, it is a tremendous privilege. It is a privilege to be given the position of being the homemaker, of being a wife, of being a mother. However, we are oftentimes confused what is our role, how much it is that we are undertaking, what are the blessings and the responsibilities of being a wife and mother, and why is it so privileged? I'm here to enlighten you on these ideas and hopefully strengthen all of us women, all of us wives and mothers to undertake our role to be a mother and wife and homemaker and feel privileged, empowered, and incredibly lucky. My name is Leah Abramov. Stay tuned for more. The woman is the home. Now, what is an ideal home? An ideal home depends on what it feels like. If you have clearly defined goals in mind for the kind of home that you will wish to have, you will definitely achieve them. This is because a home, in a spiritual sense, is entirely dependent on the woman, and it is entirely dependent on what she does in the home. The Vilna Gaon teaches that, and whatever you really want and strive for with your whole heart will be attained. It's all about your intention, your desire, your ratzon, your wanting to achieve a certain goal. You know, a home is more than just four walls, a roof, and a ceiling. Our sages tell us that the woman is the home. But what in essence does that mean? It means that, as Rabbi Yossi said, she is the mainstay of the home, and without her there is no home. So he said, I quote, I called my wife my home, and my home I called my wife. We are the essence of the house. We are the essence of our home, and it depends on the atmosphere that we set on the home that we create. A woman is compared to many different ideas, and it's going to give us insight on her role. She's compared to the ground, the tent, and glory. For example, a woman is likened to the ground because she is the foundation of her home. She's the base, all depending on her and how she lives her life, how she decides to run her home. This is how the home will actually thrive and be. She's called a tent because she shields everyone. She protects everyone. How does she do that? She does this with prayer. She does this with intuition. She does this with her ratzon, with her desire. She's called the glory of her home because it is she who glorifies the home by doing her utmost to establish a Torah environment, a home-based foundation of faithful Judaism. It is she who puts into practice all the beautiful mitzvot of the Torah and the Torah that is kept in the home, training herself and her children to follow the right path. It doesn't say training her husband, because it's very important that the woman learns how to respect and not control her husband. And just to remind ourselves that we are not here to control everyone in our home. However, by example, by doing the mitzvot beautifully, our family learns from us. And all in all, she is the essence of the home. She is the home. Unfortunately, the opposite can be true as well. The Hebrew word for essence also means to uproot. And the woman can be the destroyer of the home, and the choice is ultimately hers. Now, the home absorbs everything that we do. Everything is being recorded and nothing is being lost. This can seem like it's very morbid. Like, what do you mean, like everything is being recorded? But however, we need to understand that we're here in this life not to live a free-for-all kind of life. It's not meant to be depressing. It is all about being responsible for our thoughts, for our speeches, and for our actions. Our home is a miniature Beit HaMikdash, a miniature temple. We want all our actions to be worthy of this Beit HaMikdash that we are building. If we understand and if we remember that we are always in the presence of Hashem, we are always in the presence of God, this feeling will monitor our actions and elevate them. We will behave in a way and conduct ourselves differently with our husband, with our children, and with everything that we do. It's the way we act. This world that we live in is not a free-for-all. We are brainwashed by our secular society to with the lines like, oh, it's my life, and I could do whatever I want. It's my body. I could do whatever I want. The truth is that it's not ours. It is a gift to be used wisely. Our life is not ours. Hashem entrusted us to live our lives. Hashem gave us the gift of life. He gave us a neshama in order to produce in this world, to fulfill our missions. Our body is ours for us to take care of. It is a suit to serve Hashem. With my body, I make brachot. I look modest, right? We want to use our body and all its abilities to serve Hashem, to do mitzvot. Our life is a gift, and it is very precious, and it is very time sensitive to live productive lives, not to waste our time, because we were put in this world for a reason. You know, Rebbetzin Schwartz had a story where she said she was in her kitchen and she realized she had a neighbor over, and this happened many years ago, but she remembers that this neighbor was just so incredibly inspired by the lovely atmosphere. She had a lot of children, and they were all running around, and her house seemed like it was on wheels. So much things happening, and Rebbetzin Schwartz was so incredibly calm. And even upon leaving, the neighbor said, "You know, thank you for having me. I'm just so incredibly inspired. You're so calm, and you're so nice, and it's so inspiring to be in your presence." And then she left. She said something like that. And Rebbetzin Esther Schwartz remembers thinking to herself, the reason for that is because you're here. And if you're, my kids would have loved for you to permanently move in, because we perform much better knowing that someone is watching us. This is just human nature. But if we remind ourselves constantly that Hashem is watching everything we say, everything we do, and the way we act is being recorded. And it is actually a very humbling thought, and it's a thought of responsibility that I'm not here for myself. I don't do whatever I want. I will answer for everything I do and say. And it is very important that we live with this type of awareness. Rebbetzin Esther Bela Schwartz teaches that the reason why we underconduct ourselves is because we undervalue ourselves. We forget who we are. And who are we ultimately? We are a Tselem Elokim. We are always worthy. We never, even if we mess up, if we make wrong choices, if we make mistakes, and that is part of being human, we don't lose value in Hashem's eyes. He loves us no matter what. So we are taught that an eye sees, an ear hears, and all our deeds are written in the book. So what does it mean an eye sees? The Chafetz Chaim said in his time that for the last 100 years, modern technology has made it possible for even people who live in an era of weakened faith to see the truth of these words. After all, if a simple human being is able to discover, television and videos where a person on one side of the world can view the actions of someone else across the ocean, why wouldn't Hashem be able to see everything we do? How about an ear hears? By just dialing a few digits, we are able to speak to anyone on the other face of the earth through a device created solely by the limited mind of the human being. Can't Hashem hear everything that we say? And all our deeds are written in a book. Consider just one simple electronic device, the tape recorder, which can record everything a person does or says. And if a tape recorder can record someone, it is not difficult to imagine that Hashem must be able to hear and to see everything that we say and do. We are told that every time we open our mouths to speak, an angel writes down everything we say. It is like having our own personal and private secretary. So we must very carefully weigh each word before it is said. For nothing is lost, not a single word. Our words actually remain permanently embedded in the atmosphere. Our sages tell us that after 120 years, when we leave this world, the walls of our houses will appear before the heavenly throne and the heavenly court, and they will bear witness to what was said and done in our homes. So let us make our walls sing with joy, contentment, and happiness. The impression will last forever, and we want to make good impressions. So we must ask ourselves, What does our home feel like? Do the children feel that on edge because the house always has to be perfectly clean? Am I flexible when it comes to accidents and mistakes? Or do I yell, scream, blame, and punish often? Are my children allowed to be curious and try new things? Do I model respect and kindness as well as forgiveness? Is my home catered to what my kids and grandkids need? Or am I too focused on the expensive furniture? Is my home welcoming or does it feel judgmental and rigid? Time goes by so very quickly. Our little kids grow up, they grow up very quickly. They naturally absorb the tools that they are given at home. Let's reflect and see how we can enhance the atmosphere in our homes to make it more loving and to make it more positive. If we are given our homes, our households, our children, our husband, we are meant to be able to handle it and to succeed in making beautiful, happy homes. We know of the concept of being remembered forever. Everyone in the world strives to be remembered forever. We all know the sculptors, composers, writers, authors. They want to create a masterpiece that will inspire them, and they will always be remembered. They will be remembered forever. So they're prepared to invest years and years of hard work into this masterpiece only because they want to be remembered. Each of us as women are creating our own masterpiece. You are working on your life's work, building a home. It is your eternity, the creation of a lifetime. If you think of your home as a masterpiece, as the work of a lifetime, then how much are you prepared to invest in such a creation? We are just so busy as women, taking care of our community, finally waiting for the kids to go to sleep, waiting for the easy way out and things. Yes, there's such a thing as self-care and delegation and making your life easier. However, let's enjoy our role as being the homemaker, as being the wife and mother. That is our primary role, not all of these other roles that we take upon ourselves to make money, to enhance our talents, and to help the world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. He's the one who will enable it to run and exist and thrive. We don't need to worry about everything outside the home. When you're able to, everything at the right age, stage, and phase in life. When you're able to come out of the house more and help out, so be it. But not at the expense of your home, of your children, of your children lacking your attention. It's so interesting that a CEO of a company will hire candidates, not because they have so much experience and not because they have a great resume, not because they graduated a certain school, because that could all be faxed. However, they want to, in person, interview the client. Why? Because they want to see how dedicated is this employee going to be to my objective in my company. How much are they willing to invest themselves, their talents, their abilities, their efforts? How much are we as mothers excited on this incredible adventure, on this endeavor of being a mother and a wife and mother in our homes, a homemaker in our homes? Successful businessmen are ready to put all into the success of their business. They invest all their time, effort, talent, and energy, resources and connections, and as much money as possible for the success of their business. You are taking care of your home anyway. You're investing so much of your time, most of your time, taking care of your family, your children, and you're doing it anyway. So might as well make it full of quality times together. Hashem gives us credit and rewards us, not by what we do, but how we do what we do. Sometimes we live by the wrong values. How many more kids can I have? Should I have more boys or girls? Or have a high paying job? Or acquiring a talent? But the truth of the matter is that these are not all at all dependent on us. Hashem decides the outcome of all of these things. But if I realize the truth that all I have is not mine, but a gift and a means to serve Hashem, my whole perspective changes. Instead of feeling entitled or jealous or unhappy, a person becomes grateful, privileged, humbled, and happy. So to wrap it up, we need to work on creating happiness around you. Work on creating your home. It is the most wonderful creation there is, and it is yours. A practical tip I will leave you is think about what you want in your home. Think about how you want it to feel like and to look like. Yes, a home needs to look cozy, Maybe it looks has a very tasteful and beautiful, great, but there's a limit to the physicality. We don't want to go overboard. So take small steps to make it a reality. How does my home feel like? Buy a small book on character by Rabbi Tupliskin, by Rabbi Abraham Twersky. They have many of these books, whether it is humility, patience, happiness, or gratitude, and read just 2 pages a day and try to implement it throughout the day. You will see how, as your perspective changes, you have a more positive atmosphere in your home. Your husband and children will gravitate towards you. They are not afraid to make mistakes or try new things, knowing that you are flexible and encouraging. They are not, they're not afraid to ask questions or admit that they did something wrong, because you are forgiving and you give a listening ear. All in all, they know that you are there for them as a mother, because you are there for their ultimate well-being, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and it all starts in the home. Appreciating the insights of Rebbetzin Esther Greenberg in Woman to Woman. Leah Abramov, Being and Becoming, awakening awareness of your greatness and potential.